thing, we took a poll, in the Discord saying what we should do this week just as a topic, and we got a lot of votes. But the overwhelming majority, 31% of you guys want to talk about virtual wholesaling. Now, there's no secret in the Discord, right? We got a lot more kids. And when I say kids, anyone my age or younger, I'm 25. I don't think I'm a kid, but apparently, half the world thinks that, which is funny to me. But the thing about it is a lot of younger people tend to like virtual wholesaling a lot more because of the flexibility it gives you, right? It gives you this freedom where I can go move wherever I want in the entire world. Now, no offense to living in Ohio. I've been to many states in the United States. Ohio was one of the most boring. Just no offense. It was Southwest Ohio, so probably even more boring than usual. But great wholesaling market, great place to locally live. But I'll be honest with you. If that is where I had to stay the rest of my life, I don't know if I'd be too happy about it, right? Maybe because I like, wrangling 400-pound sharks off the dock. That's just my thing. Florida man, if I'm not wrestling with an alligator every week, I'm just not myself. But Columbus, Ohio just doesn't seem like a fun place. I mean, I'd be going to football games all the time, but it's not like the craziest place in the world, right? But if you're young and you lived in Ohio, and if you could strike it rich wholesaling, I could go to Bali, for a month. I can go live in, Johannesburg, South Africa for a month. I can go out here to Mexico for a couple months, go to Costa Rica and, travel the world and wholesale real estate virtually. That is the dream, because the dream used to be money. And then you found that you can have money and the time freedom, right? You could just be doing whatever you want, whenever you want. And the cool part about being young is you have all these options. And talking about this as a guy that, I'm not married, I got no kids, right? This is a certain part of my life where I can do whatever I want, wherever I want. Go on a plane, go anywhere, right? It's pretty dang cool and exciting. But the thing about it is once I have kids and married and stuff, it's going to be a lot more difficult to go run around and do crazy things. And so when you're young, you have this time to make a lot of money and do whatever you want, because you do not want to be, that 85-year-old man trying to go to, go to the Costa Rican jungle for the first time. Like, you're 85, you're too old for it already, right? So being young with money is way better than being, old with money. That's just the dang truth. I'm sorry. $1 million at 20 years old is the best feeling ever. I've hit that. And, being a millionaire at 20 years old, I'm telling you right now, is way better than being a millionaire at 40. You just have so much time freedom and the time value. $1 million at 20 is the same thing as probably $5 million at 40. And that's the coolest part about making money young. And that's why I think a lot of the people in Discord really love the fact that not just you can make a lot of money, but you can make a lot of money from the computer. And so virtual wholesaling is that topic where everybody loves it. They want to know more about it. And the thing about virtual wholesaling is it's wholesaling real estate. Like, it is wholesaling real estate, baby. That is what that business is. You're just doing it over the computer, over phone, pretty much it. Now, a lot of people think I'm this in-person, wholesaling guy, and that is just not true. I'm not the Mr. In-person wholesaling guy. The truth is, I am the basically virtual wholesale only. Like, I don't go on appointments anymore, and I have my team do it. Now, I do live in my primary local market per se, but I don't go on the appointment, so I still consider it virtual wholesaling, even though I got locally got my people here, right? But most of my money is going to be made around the country, and that's the most exciting part. So I am a virtual wholesaler doing whatever I want, whenever I want. And the thing about it is, when we're talking to a beginner, if I'm talking to an 18, 19-year-old person, right? There's no complicated systems I need to be, that stuff is just not part of the equation. The equation is you find a list. You get that phone number for that list. You call, text them, email blast them, digital bandit signs, and you make $100,000 a year. That is the equation. And anything that is taking you away from that equation is dooming you. That is stopping you from success, and that's stopping you from succeeding right now. And it breaks my heart to see so many wholesalers do this, but so many of y'all, it's insanity to me. So many of y'all will actually just go out here and decide that, I want all these complicated processes, I want these systems, just do the volume. Just do the volume, guy. I have so many customers on X Leads, right? We have a lot. And I get these 18-year-olds, I love them to death, right? They'll get the X leads, they'll get the ninja mode, and the ninja mode's kind of complicated, but it's literally free. It's included on the account, and they want to have 17,000 follow-up automation sequences. And I'm like, well, how many calls you making? He's like, well, I'm making about 100 calls a day. I'm like, you don't need 5,000 automation sequence. Yeah, that's cool. That's great. That's all. But the amount of time you're spending trying to automate everything, like, bro, just call and text. And I'd put an emphasis on the calling, but just do the single line auto dialer and just go to work. And so many people like want to complicate follow-ups too, especially in virtual wholesaling. It's seriously just whatever CRM you care. I don't care which one. We actually have a free CRM in freelancing.com. It's in the WAP, the Discord, right? We actually have a free, it's a really cool acquisition CRM we give absolutely for free. But the thing about it is the follow-ups are so simple, Everyone wants to overcomplicate that too. They want these automation sequences. They want AI to do it. They want AI to do this and that. And as a person that's implementing AI and, X leads and so many things in wholesaling, right? We're actually coming out with a new AI thing on the free. It's not the X lead side. It's actually on the free coaching side. And that's going to be really cool. I'm really looking forward to it, but that needs some more training, to be honest. I saw what inspired me for this new training thing I'm working on is, did you see the guy? And I know I'm going a little off tangent here, but I want to get everyone's feedback. I can do whatever I want here, right? Do you guys see that guy that proposed to AI the other day? Like he's like, in, the movie Her? Like he's like in love with his AI voice chatbot. I'm like, how could I have like an AI Zach bot? How can I have an AI Zach bot that, you just have it call AI Zach, like it's my brain, it's on AI, and just say, hey Zach, what should I do with this lead? Oh fam, let me call it for you. And you got AI Zach calling the lead, right? Maybe I get like 1% of your assignment fee. No joke. I was actually talking to Rick about this the other day. I'm like, could I spend like $5 million on like the most greatest AI Zach of all time with voice, and like I get like 1% of someone's fee, and I'll just close the deal, right? And the funny part about that is, everyone wants to have this AI to do all the work. They want they think, when the truth is, whoever just talked to sellers the most right now is going to win. Everyone wants all the AI automations, all this. If you just call more sellers, you win right now. And everyone wants to automate the automation. Everyone wants to automate the texting, the follow-ups. And that's not how you win right now. Like, we're talking about 2025. We're talking about right now. Okay? We're talking about like literally right now. Okay? Right now, if you call the lead and it's AI, they're not going to know the difference, right? A lot of people got mad. I shared kind of the very rough version of the AI cold calling bot. Everyone's like, oh, that sounds like AI. I'm like, bro, like, do you understand this is what it is now? When the AI improves in the future, I will not give you a tentative date, you're not going to know. But if this is what it's at now, can you imagine what it's at when it's big? It's like judging a 10-year-old how good they are at basketball. It's like, if they're like this good now and they're only going to get better, it's going to keep succeeding. And that's the way I'm looking at it, right? So AI is not there yet. Everyone in virtual wholesaling wants to use all these AI stuff. AI is really good. It's good for texting right now. The calling's just not there. But the cool part about that is, if you just call a seller and they said, call me back in 3 weeks, and you call them back in 2 weeks, boom. Hey, just check in. What's going on? You're still looking to sell the house? Boom. That's what follow-ups are. So many people want all of this like stressful, strenuous like talk about virtual wholesaling and what's the right strategy. The strategy is you find the motivated sellers, you call or text them, and you get a deal. And we could talk about other ways. We could talk about direct mail. We could talk about PPC. We could talk about SEO. We could talk about Facebook ads. We could talk about spending 30 grand a month. If you want to get to that level, we could talk about that level. But the best return on your investment still to this day is going to be cold calling yourself, texting yourself, and then getting VAs to do it for you right now. The difference between hiring someone for $5 an hour and them calling for you versus you doing it and all these things, the delta of the return on investment is just better than anybody else can do it. That is it. And so in virtual wholesaling, it's all about the amount of offers you make. Offers. And we talked about the offer challenge this week, and that is still something I'm very big on. But in virtual wholesaling, it's about how many offers you're making. And if you're telling me, Zach, I need to make more offers, I haven't made an offer this week. I'm like, okay, well, how do we produce offers? What is the mother of offers, right? Who birthed mother offers? Well, it's leads. I don't know if that was a cruel analogy, but like, who's the mother of offers? It's going to be leads. And that is where leads come from, right? And it's the mom and the dad of offers is leads. And so you need to get leads. Leads make offers. That is just the general truth of this whole thing. And so if you want to make offers, you got to get leads. And so it always goes from leads, offers, contract, buyer, close deal. And offer is going to be the biggest thing. That's the biggest variable, the biggest X difference, right? And if you could just produce more leads and make those offers, you're going to get more deals. That's always the truth about it. And so in virtual wholesaling, we can talk about a lot of things here, but the priority thing is just simplifying this. Simple gets deals. And the more you complicate it, the more stress you're going to get. And when you get stressed, everything is all cloudy. You just don't see the light. And you tend to just make more money in wholesaling real estate, like way more money when you simplify it, right? And I always talk about, that meme of they have the bell curve, and at the bottom of the bell curve, like the dumbest ones always say, simple deals wins. And then in the middle, you have the most people say, advanced knowledge and analytics is best. And then the guy that's like top 1% says, simple leads win. And, I'm going to look up bell curve meme and send it to you guys. But the bell curve meme is completely real, okay? So actually, I'm gonna post the bell curve meme on here. Okay, here's the bell curve meme. I gotta make it for wholesaling, but people at like the bottom 1% are just like, just cold call to get a deal. And the people at the top are like, just cold call to get a deal. And people in the middle are like, you have to analyze it. You have to use AI. You have to buy all these you have to do everything all perfectly. You have to go wake up at 3 a.m. You have to cold plunge every morning. And all that stuff don't matter if you ain't making offers. And the biggest part about you getting offers is having leads in the pipeline. That is it. That is our North Star for success in virtual wholesaling. Now, that's about half the battle in virtual wholesaling. Now, what is the other battle of virtual wholesaling? Well, the other entire battle here, which we ain't even talking about yet, right? The entire other battle is just being in the right market, right? So the biggest tragedy, right? The biggest depressing stat I can tell you about virtual wholesaling is the tale of the wholesaler that is making thousands of calls. They are closing, right? They're using the best technique. They have the best rapport. They have the best confidence. They're feeling great about life. And the saddest part, and so depressing, breaks my heart, is they're doing everything right? They're networking, they're motivated, they're nice, they have a positive attitude, right? They're doing everything right for success, but they're just in the wrong market, and they want to blame everything. They want to blame everything except for the market. Because the thing about it is, the first scapegoat everybody wants to give, is the market. And so everyone's like, well, Zach always talks about stop blaming the market, blame the marketing. That's true to a point, but there are certain people that are just in the wrong market, right? Example, I've had some fellas out here that are drying for dollars 60 hours a week, which you get my kudos. You get I'm not worthy. You're doing 60 hours a week of drying for dollars, but you're drying for dollars in Skid Row, in LA, South Side, Compton, and you're wondering why you're not getting any deals. And it's not because you're not a hard worker, you're like this loser, right? It's because you're just in the wrong market. And if you use that effort in Riverside, California, or virtually wholesaling in Ohio, you would probably be making 50 grand a month. And the coolest part about it is that's just the little difference. And so everyone asking, what's the difference? Where do I say, what's the way to succeed here? And it's always been two things, right? Median home price under $500,000 and population over 100,000. That's it. Anything else is just talk. That's how you win in virtual wholesaling. Now, the other topic a lot of wholesalers, want to ask me again is